Greetings, Darklings, from across the interweb. It is once again I, the Duchess, Precious Ken, back for the Sounds and Shadows podcast. I'm real excited. We got a great guest. We've been doing a lot of fresh up and coming bands, and I love that. Sometimes it feels like goth and dark scene can be a genre that really gets locked into bands of the past and doesn't do enough focus on some of these people breathing life back in. So we're going to have one of those and talk about it. I'll give a quick shout out like I love to do. If you send me something in the mail bands, I will try and wear it on the show. So today, my dear friend Bruce from Orcus Nullify is a very cool death rock, old school style goth band that you should definitely check out. Very cool band. So see what they have going on. And we've had a fun discussion today in the Sounds and Shadows Facebook group. Please go check that out around doing stuff like TikTok, Instagram, whatnot, but how are you using videos to engage with your fans? And I think that ties in because the band that I will be interviewing today, I think does a really good job of that and has helped in the vein of Vision Video and some others made a name for themselves by creating a connection with their fans where it feels like you really get to know them as people all the time. It is my great pleasure to introduce the band NITE. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We got a lot to talk about. I think one of the things right off the bat when I kind of was playing you earlier for my wife Rachel and talking about you gents, NITE, NITE, is that an acronym or anything? The way that it's spelled, kind of, doing the alternate spelling of it and having all the letters be capitalized, it hit me. I'm like, I wonder if that's supposed to be that way as, like a rat, like an acronym for it.
I actually now wish it was an acronym.
You know what? We could edit this part out later and we could talk about it afterwards and come up with something really awesome for the four letters and pretend like it was always that way.
Exactly. I got to edit. Yeah, pretend. That would have been a really cool idea.
All right, let's start out here. Why don't you both introduce yourselves and say what you play? You are two brothers, right? In a band together? That is so freaking cool.
Specifically.
Yeah, like twins. I love that. I played in a band a million years ago with my kid brother, who's an amazing drummer. And when I say kid, he's 44, so way older than either of you, but still my kid brother always.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, that must have been pretty cool. Obviously, we've been in a band together as brothers forever. But yeah, if we wanted to introduce each other, I'm Kyle. I do vocals, I play bass and synths.
And I'm Miles, and I'm kind of the same thing. I vocals, synths, but I also play guitar.
I love that you guys just can be four position players and just trade off whatever's needed when you're up on stage to kind of go between songs there. So tell me a little bit then, let's get started on your history for it. Because like you said, I mean, you grew up in the same, there's something I think special about brothers and the relationship on it where you can have friends you've had your whole life, but nobody really lived through the same parents that other person did. Like every little scar, every little emotional nick you had your whole life, this is somebody who was there for every single part of it. And I think it creates such a unique dynamic when you talk about creating art and music together. Tell me a little bit about that history and how, out of all the different styles or anything else, you heard, I don't know, a Cure album, you saw a show, something happened and it hit you, and you both went, this is us. This is who we are now.
I love how you phrase that because I feel like a lot of times, especially twins, they're pitted against each other.
Sure.
And they want to be the exact opposite. But for whatever reason, just like you said, it clicked for us. we grew up. I guess one of the first concert we ever saw was a band called Kiss, and they wear the makeup. They had the fireworks. They're amazing. They put everything out onto the show. So that's still a huge inspiration for us. I think what got us into this genre or this community of music is The Cure. Our father had actually had a big part to that. He actually bought the DVD, the live DVD of the trilogy of Disintegration, Pornography, and Blood Flowers. And we just were blown away just watching this guy named Robert Smith perform these songs and the whole band backing. They have synths, they have guitars. It was very eclectic. And I think that together we wanted to be a band. We were just enamored by the whole thing.
And that was our first exposure to Cure was the DVD. Like it wasn't like a CD or a music video.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering if that's like that might actually probably be the best way to hear the Cure for the first time is that trilogy DVD.
See, that's so cool that you had a cool dad in music, and that's what inspired it. Because a lot of times it always makes me laugh. It'll go the other way, where like the dad will be some high school or college football star or something, and hoping that his kids will like follow in his footsteps. And instead, they start, painting eyeliner on and listening to Boy George. And it's so great to when it happens the other way, and you guys actually were kind of enamored by something he showed you in this band, and it sets you on a path.
Yeah. I don't even know if our dad was like a huge Cure fan. I just think maybe he thought we would like it because we love Kiss. And
I don't know if people even remember this, but back in the day, you ever heard of Fuse? It was like MTV. And they played music videos. So we saw a music video of Depeche Mode, thinking that they were a new band.
Oh yeah.
And but we really got excited about that because as kids we started getting into electronic music, but Depeche Mode had vocals and it was a song. They wrote songs. So our dad probably thought to get the DVD because we liked this Depeche Mode music video, and it was for Playing the Angel.
Oh yeah, Suffer Well.
Yeah, Suffer Well was kind of like when we heard that. I would say that probably actually was the catalyst. To be honest with you, is probably that.
Thank you for making me feel very, very old. That on Fuse and MTV, yes, I was watching Depeche Mode when it was coming out. So now I feel ancient. I'm going to crumble to dust like a Greek ruin. I'm going to pick myself back up and move on to asking you guys. So you heard this, you felt it. Did you always kind of play in a band and do that together? Or did you kind of go your own musical route and then somehow find your way back to wanting to do music together as brothers?
I feel like nothing has changed. I feel like as soon as we were able to get instruments, we had guitars for Christmas, but then we would mow neighbors' lawns and save up money and buy a synthesizer. So we would actually switch synths and guitar duties, and we'd have a drummer with us. So we've always been a trio. We've always been creating the style of music, and it's just not much has changed.
Wow, that's awesome. I remember one of the first videos I saw of you two. You were also both kind of doing a acoustic guitar, and I think it was a cover that you played for a video. It might have even been a Cure cover that you played for the video, but I remember seeing it, and with the awesome flowing wavy hair, I thought to myself, it's goth extreme more than words. Like you were both playing acoustic guitars and doing it. I'm like, see, that's what this scene is needed, is its own extreme. And tell me a little bit about how your songwriting process works. With the two of you there, is it something where you often do that, like write a song together on acoustic, have an idea in your head, do lyrics? Who kind of takes what responsibility and does what thing when you're trying to put a song together?
We're kind of like a Paul McCartney, John Lennon type thing where we both respectfully write songs and we come together to finish them. And
Nice.
I think most of our music probably just starts with some chords and vocal melodies. And we kind of come together to program. We're also both producers. We do music and music licensing stuff. So
Nice.
we both swap recording sessions and whatnot, and
We're each other's worst critics.
yes.
So more than I'm my own worst critic, this guy, like, he really tries to push my bar higher.
Yes.
Now it is again sounding very familiar for me and my own brother and the dynamic.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
love that.
So how do you guys do that then to drive each other? And what is kind of the impetus or the voice that you're really trying to get out in dark scene music? You mentioned kind of Robert Smith and the Cure. When I hear you guys and listen to a lot of your stuff, one of the things that pops into my head always is Duran Duran, and I think
Yes.
you guys have very much a great energy of just that, a conversation in your songs flowing between each other, but almost kind of more that, yeah, like 90s Duran Duran feel to your music, mixing in a tapestry behind you while singing beautiful melodies and pop music.
Yeah, and I would actually say, specifically in the more new wave era with Duran Duran, and we love New Order and
Yeah.
Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. I mean, we're huge fans of that, but I totally resonate with Duran Duran's songwriting and their use of harmonies, and we're really big on harmonies. Also, Tears for Fears. But we get compared to Tears for Fears a lot, especially with some of our earlier
I
stuff.
guess we consider us pop heads, kind of like what the Pet Shop Boys say.
Yeah.
I think there's something about pop music that we've always had an ear for, and
Yeah.
I guess electronic also lends to that quite a bit. But yeah, I feel like that's interesting that you picked up on Duran Duran.
Yes.
I'm with you for that.
If it's pop and it's moody, then I think that's kind of where we resonate a lot.
I think sometimes in kind of the, I don't know, goth or dark scene some genre, a lot of people will take that as a bad word, saying pop, because no, we have to be so much more tragic than that. And to me, I'm a lot like you guys. I really, a lot of the best music is something people want to engage with. And when you write poppy melodies, that hooks that people can really grab hold of, whatever your message is and whatever you're trying to put out into the world, it's more likely to find ears and give your voice a place to go. If you have music that people want to jam to in their car, people want to dance to in the club, what's wrong with something that you want to dance to? And so no, I like that about your music and think that's a great attribute for you, especially in modern goth, because that is necessary to put new young people onto goth music, which is what's needed if the genre is going to survive.
Yeah, I absolutely. I love the eclecticism and the diversity that the scene is right now. I feel like there's just tons of pop stuff going on. There's tons of dark and obscure and
everything has its time and place.
Yes,
and I think, like, for instance, the Cure, for instance, has an amazing discography. Like, you can listen to Pornography and there's like not a chorus on the album,
Right.
but then you listen to Head at the Door and that's quite the opposite thing.
Yeah.
And I love that. And a lot of these bands that we've mentioned earlier, they've all had a dynamic career.
So where is NITE at in its journey in the same path, kind of saying that, with a band like The Cure, like you said, that is, or Bowie or whoever, that's reinvented themselves 6 times in 6 decades? Where are you guys in that journey, and where are you trying to go in the future?
Yes, we had it hasn't even been a full year since this album has been out, but Be Destroyed, which is our most recent full-length album, that's kind of us really tapping into more of our edgier, darker selves.
Yeah.
And of course, we're really proud of it still. And but our previous stuff before that, I feel like we kind of were on more of a synth pop, new wave.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with all of our albums. We actually started in 2013.
Yeah.
First album, it's like very cavernous, very early The Cure. Second album, we got signed to Cleopatra Records. We put out a very synth pop record. It's called Reborn. And then Sleepless, that just pretty much followed that and has a lot of that indie-tronica feel as well. Yeah. And then COVID hit and we had time to reflect and we had time to pull other influences that we weren't accustomed to. So one of the things is we started listening to grunge music, and we pulled out Alice in Chains one of our favorite songs is Wood, and we're new fans of Alice in Chains.
Yes.
We didn't listen to them growing up. This is a new band for us in 2020, so we adopted that style, and we kind of came up with a gothic grunge record.
Yes.
That's why it's called Be Destroyed. All these songs have a bit more of an industrial edge to them.
Yeah, I love to hear that. I was talking recently with James Edwards of Male Tears, and kind of the same way, somebody who around your age, but that has really captured a retro 80s feel, but not from going back and listening to those records. He kind of stumbled into it in his own time, in his own way. It just seemed like what made sense, the right things to do. And so I love hearing that from you. To me, Alice in Chains' Dirt is my number one grunge album. And I grew up very much like I was in high school in like 1991. So kind of the height of grunge. That was, me. And Dirt to me is a perfect track one to final track. There is no bad song on that album. Like, and I can't say that for a lot of albums, but it is. I would put it above Nirvana. I would put it above.
You get cool points.
Yeah, that's our favorite record.
That album is something else.
Oh, we covered the song Wood, which I feel like we made a very different version of it. So I feel like some people probably think it's blasphemous that we took a grunge song and made it very synthetic, but I felt like, man, I don't know, it just spoke to me, and we both just created this track that sounds like a EBM, Nine Inch Nails kind of collab.
I'll make you jealous, but I got lucky. I actually got to see Lane Staley, Alice in Chains once at headlining Lollapalooza in 1993.
That's amazing.
Okay, so at a very good part of their career before, I'm pretty sure everything happened.
That's awesome.
Indeed. So tell me a little bit now. I mean, you had that new record that you just mentioned, but have a new single out. Tell me a little bit about some of the things that you're excited for right now to get out to people and kind of have this edgier, grungier feel.
Yeah, I still feel like we're on that trajectory, but I feel like we've been experimenting a lot with sounds, and I really feel like we really found our kind of pocket, and we want to follow that.
It's hard to explain, but I feel like what's cool about today's, or at least where we are sitting, is we don't have anything like a label or anything, so we could just put out a new song. We wrote Price for Heaven not that long ago, so this is the first time in forever we wrote a song within a month and released it. And that's an exciting thing for us because we don't know where we're going to go next necessarily. The next song is going to be a little different. The song after that's probably going to be a little different, but we get to just write and live and then release it. It's almost like, hey, you guys are finally hearing where I am now. Whereas if you release the whole album, people's like Be Destroyed, that's a collection of years. That's a snapshot of like 2020 to 2023. And then here we are now. Each song is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
We're also excited about everything that's happening with social media. Like we're excited that we could release a TikTok and make more and more fans every time we do a video, and we can actually, like you said, send a snapshot of where we are today versus waiting 3 or 4 years for something to come out.
Right.
So we're pretty excited and inspired in what's happening musically online and stuff.
Yeah, I think bands today, there's a lot of new challenges, and this is something, we were talking about on the Sounds and Shadows group the other day, a lot of new challenges in terms of the sheer amount of just bands out there and this drive that you have to churn out content to stay relevant or whatnot. But at the same time, unlike in the past where you had to have a label and really there was maybe 100 bands out there that got the gold star from the label and were put forward, and you had to play ball with them and do what they asked you to do. Whereas now you have a studio that you can afford at your house. You're hanging out, it's 1 a.m., you're chilling together as brothers, and you have an idea for a song and you just lay it down and can record it with pretty high quality, top notch studio tech any weird way you want with 64 overlapping guitar tracks because you feel like it. And you have that artistic freedom now, which wasn't always the way in the past. And I love what that's really done to expand the definitions of genre and music, because people can just that, like, because we felt like it. We put this, we'll release another single tomorrow that we wrote 3 days ago because we can, you know, and just having that open. So I love that you say that. And going along with the TikTok thing, I wanted to kind of ask you, one of the ways that I found you is Angela, and you guys kind of have a Facebook group like Sounds and Shadows that's a fan group for you, and how important it is these days to have these super fans that kind of help believe in your message, believe in your music and what you do, and take it upon themselves to really get that word out, like the old street teams when someone would go on tour. You know, Twin Tribes has it, Actors has it, these people that like make that happen for them, Boot Blacks. Tell me a little bit about what that's like and what it means to your success to have someone in your corner like that.
Oh yeah, Angela has been super helpful for us. She's
basically one of our best friends, and we get to, and she's also our biggest supporter and biggest fan. And thanks to her, I feel like we can create community together. And there's already so much that we have under our hats. Like we're having to edit the videos, we're having to record, mix, master our music, all these other things. We're having to book our own shows. So where do we find time to like create community necessarily? And I think that someone like Angela was able to fill that hole that we just didn't have going for us. And we had all these people. We have all these people that come to our shows, that come to our Facebook page, and they're interacting with our videos. But I think that sometimes people just want a place where they can relate. Like, oh, like I just saw NITE play, and we want to be friends with our fans too. So it's like, okay, now we see these people that we're making an impact on, and thanks to Angela who can organize that for us. We're just in our own world of chaos, and she organized that.
There's so much going on online that I feel like we could make a post and nobody sees it. So I feel like because of this Facebook group that she created, you know, people like yourself and Miles and I, you know, we have so many things going on in our lives. It's nice to get another chance to spread a message.
Yeah, that's the best thing you could say. Yeah, because we're also fighting the algorithm too.
Sure.
So, exactly. I mean, honestly, she's like this other voice for us, which is amazing to have a champion for us to like really say, hey, this is something you should pay attention to. You got all of this media just coming towards you. This thing right here, pay attention to this. And we're so lucky to have that.
Yeah, no, it really is. These days, having an advocate that isn't the band, it means a lot. I think it really does make people stand up and take notice more, because it's someone outside that is saying something important is happening right now, and you could be a part of it, and you could be a part of what this band is doing. And sure, we all say that for ourselves. You know, I'm in a band too. But when you hear someone else say it, and I think that was one of those things that, yeah, it kind of been the power of Sounds and Shadows, is just me saying, yeah, I have a band, I'm into it. But look at these bands. I know what we are, and it's ridiculous. But look at them. They're really doing the thing full time and having it. And I think that's part of what makes it really resonate with people. So I just thought it was interesting, and all of the biggest like bands in our scene going right now have a person like that. And to the point where I know who they are, and you guys having someone like that, I think has really made a big difference for how you're portrayed and how you've come across to world audiences.
100%. And Ken, I have to say, I think that the Sounds and Shadows, everything you're doing, it's like you're basically this person for this genre of music, for this community of people.
And it gets over my head sometimes.
Yeah, they're going to make a documentary about, you know, the 10s and 20s of, you know, the scene of music. You're going to be in it. You're going to be the centerpiece.
Yeah, I feel like if they're going to make a documentary, like you're going to have to be in it.
Yeah,
I'm already turning red from these Oberons, and now I'm blushing extra. Thank you. So you guys have a new single and video coming out. Tell me a little bit about what that is and kind of what was the heart behind it that turned this into a song.
Yeah, we just released a song called Price for Heaven. We do have a video for it, which we'd like to release next week mostly. I think we're trying to plan like, hey, we want to do maybe like a merch giveaway or something along with it.
Yes.
But with the song being out already, man, we're so excited because there's been such a positive response to this song specifically. The reason why we wrote this song is it's kind of that age-old thing. For instance, Pink Floyd kind of touched upon this idea. But for instance, you're just another brick in the wall, and no matter what you do, you're just going to be that. Like you're just another human being.
Yeah.
Grain of sand.
Systems are here, these machines, and we're all a part of it, but we're all also individuals and humans. And how do we find that line?
Exactly. I think the song is kind of asking that question. It's from a different perspective, I guess, because like I'm asking the question, what's the price you pay for happiness? Which I just say the word heaven. And it from an artist perspective, it could be from a financial standpoint, it could be fighting that algorithm. What is your art worth? What is you as a person worth? And it's asking that question. And it's not at all negative. It's just that I think that we should see the world at large and that there's a bigger community around us. And, you know, your part is important. You're an important person. But just basically asking the question, like, obviously, there's some, you know, the community at large, much bigger than you being an artist, just a single form person. Sorry, that's actually getting hard to form my words together.
No, and the answer is
I feel like you covered it. You covered it. You started hitting a circle. I think that's great.
No, and the answer is complicated. That's just it. Like, is money a part of happiness? Sure. It's really hard to be happy when you're worried about making your rent or, you know, taking care of the people in your life. But that isn't all of it. And it definitely hits a point of diminishing returns. And what are these other aspects that build actual fulfillment? Because really, it takes quite a few things, you know?
You said it better than me. Like, that's exactly the sentiment of the song, and I couldn't say it. Thank you for saying it.
That's why you need some a-hole to write a review about it and sum up all of your work, blood, sweat, and tears in a two-sentence byline. See?
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. What is it worth? And at the end of the day, you can't take your riches to the grave. You know, there's that whole thing. It's like, enjoy your life. Basically, just be happy with what you have. Like, just or be thankful, because if you have something good, be thankful. Tell your mom you love her. That kind of thing. Because you don't know what tomorrow holds.
Yeah, we're here today, gone tomorrow.
No, truth. So I see the bass guitar behind you, and you guys talk about the studio that you have here. I always like a fun question. I'm not one of them because I'm terrible at this. If it wasn't for Colin, like, I could probably barely get my settings on my effects pedal correct. But tell me, as two producers in doing this, if there was a fire in your studio right now, all of the pets, all of the people are out and safe, but you can each grab one thing to salvage from the studio, one piece of equipment, one at a time. What would you grab and save before the fire consumed all?
You can only take one, right?
You get one thing.
I pick my hard drive.
Because all the music is on.
Yeah, if he's taking the hard drive, I'm taking the laptop.
Yeah.
This very laptop that we're using right now, would take that.
I think that says a lot about, again, 2024, the change in music, where like that's the first thought people have now, because basically your laptop and your hard drive are the whole studio. I was with you and I grabbed the laptop and the hard drive. Beyond that is an actual, you know, something you would play or an effect processor you'd use, anything like that. What would you grab and take with you?
I mean, yeah. So
I've got your music. I got you guys. I got your music. I got the computer.
Yeah.
It's coming with me. I'm talking about instruments you actually use to make it happen.
I have my own room So I have my own set of guitars. I would, if I had to pick like one of my instruments, I would take my Gretsch Country Gentleman that was gifted to me from my grandfather-in-law. I would take that for sure because that's older than me. And
I have a
it would be
special place for Gretches. Those are special guitars. And that's awesome. So you have one that was given to you, you said by your father-in-law?
grandfather-in-law.
Gee, wow. How old is that thing?
I think it was like it's like 1965.
Oh,
I was given it like just a couple of months ago, so it's a brand new, beautiful. I mean, it's in perfect condition. You know, obviously,
and
it's
you
an
were
old
going to
guitar.
grab the laptop before that?
Well, in my room, this room doesn't have that
Yeah.
piece of gear, but in my room, if my room is on fire, I would take that guitar.
All right, this is the whole house. It's going to, all right, now it's your turn.
Yeah, so actually, I don't have anything as precious as him, but funny enough, I have gifted my brother. So this is also in his room. So his room is a lot more expensive than mine. I have a Gretsch hollow body bass that's semi hollow body that looks pretty much it looks like his Country Gentleman. They're
You
almost
guys
identical.
both have a Gretsch?
Yes.
Wow.
We got twin guitars galore. Every
Yes.
guitar we have has to have its twin.
Well, we kind of traded. So Miles gave me, I don't know if you can see it. If he moved, Miles gave me that electric hollow body right there, Gretsch. And I gave him my hollow body. It looks like a Country Gentleman. It's a bass. So that way we have a guitar, bass, and acoustic in each studio.
It actually makes sense now. It's that old thing because you're twins that you can't, either of you have anything without the other one getting the exact same thing. Like nobody
Yes.
gets a bowl of cereal unless it's exactly even with the perfect exact amount of Cheerios in it, or we throw down.
Oh, totally.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
That's
To
awesome.
answer the question, if that bass guitar is a very special bass for me.
Yeah.
So we would have to run away with those guitars.
Yes.
I love it. That's absolutely awesome. All right, I want to move on over to something else now. You guys have coming up a tour. You're going
Yes.
out on the road together. And this is again funny to me, the unique situation of you being twin brothers. Being in a band, if people aren't in a serious band where you've been on a tour, it's kind of like that first time with a new relationship that you go on vacation together to see, could this relationship really work? Because once we're out in a car 200 miles down the road or something, you find out if you can really live with this person. Now, you guys have probably been doing that your whole life, family trips and whatnot. So, setting up to go out on the road, tell me a little bit about what you're excited for and what you do together to not lose your shit and go insane when hanging out and spending that much time with your brother.
Yeah. I mean, I think on tour, importantly, like don't get hangry. Make sure you have your food. I think that's huge for us, just making sure that we have a regimen and we're like, hey, lunchtime is this time. I mean, because you can't in tour, like you can't organize that.
Yeah,
but the closer you can get to that, the better our attitude.
Same eating schedules. You got to
Yeah.
get on that as quick as possible. So we call it defensive eating, where
I love it.
you might not be hungry, but you're gonna want to eat at this time anyways. So when the next feeding time needs to happen, everyone's hungry at the same time.
Yeah. So defensive eating means you have to eat no matter if you're not hungry or not. Like this is the time that you have to eat, where it might be 4:00 p.m. because you got sound check at 5 or something, and then shows doors open at 6, and when the doors open, you can't. There's no time to get food. So yeah, that's our big thing for sure.
I
We're
love
kind
it.
of simple. I feel like a lot of bands have something kind of cool to say, like their little things they bring on tour that's excessive, but we're all about just like seriously just coffee and food.
Oh
all
yeah,
the time.
coffee's big for us. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. So tell me about, one or two cities on this upcoming tour you've never been to before that you're really excited to go play and check out.
Yeah, honestly, this might sound because we've never been to Indianapolis before, but we have a lot of people who've been like wanting us to go to the city, so we're
Where are
excited
you guys
about
playing
that.
there? I know Indy's kind of out by me.
Oh, really?
at least in the ballpark. I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Are you playing
Yes.
at Black what is it? Black Circle Brewery? I know that's a pretty big goth venue there for Indianapolis.
Okay, I got it right here. We're playing at the Hi-Fi.
Oh, okay. A very cool venue, which is often more of a rock venue, but a very cool venue, good system. So that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, you're doing the Hi-Fi there. Indianapolis is also another one of those. When I thought of Indianapolis being from Michigan, I often think of it as kind of, I don't know, a southern, south of the Mason-Dixon type city. And it isn't. It actually is a very, very progressive, cool city. And we've seen a few shows there, Ego Likeness, like a few others, that very cool shows in that city, and a neat vibe, and a very clean city too. And the big goth band that I know there is Scary Black. Elby is over by Indianapolis, and to me, one of the most underrated. Everybody really needs to look up Scary Black and know that band. Very cool. So I'm gonna have to tell him and make sure he goes out to check you guys out when you guys go through there. Any place else that you are really excited to check out while you're on the road?
Though, like, I guess as far as like, I guess we're returning to some places. Like, for instance, we're going to play in Tampa.
Nice.
So I guess there's a few coffee shops we hit up in Tampa last time, so we'll have to research where those places were.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that. We're obviously going to be in Texas as well. San Antonio, we're playing in Halloween. On the day of Halloween, we're playing at Paper Tiger.
So very cool venue.
There's a lot of good Mexican food in San Antonio. And
when you said Tampa, are you guys doing the Castle or something else there?
Oh, we're doing Crowbar.
A very cool bar there, yeah.
Absolution Fest, they had their stuff at Crowbar. So we've actually played this venue before, and that's a very unique area.
No, Crowbar is very, very cool. And Mark is great. Like, he does a lot of promotions through there for Absolution Fest. Absolutely love Mark. So super great.
Likewise. I think he's promoting it.
I think so. I think he has.
Yeah, he does for Crowbar and the Castle. He does a lot of stuff for both.
You know what? We've never been to the Castle, and every time we play at the Crowbar, we never have the chance to go. So that
needs to be the place that we got to put in the
list. Hopefully you will and get to go to. I mean, I think over by me in Detroit, City Club, I think is one of the longest standing, still going goth clubs in America. But I would say that the Castle is right up there too, for one that has been around since the beginning and still is there and still rocking. Like, the Castle is legendary.
Nice.
I guess the only thing I can think of now is West Palm Beach. We had the best sushi ever, and I think are we playing Respectable Street?
We are playing Respectable Street.
We had like the best sushi ever, like right across the street. So I want to experience that again.
I was actually going to lead up and ask you guys that next. What is? I'm a big foodie. Like, that's my, and so what is the coolest thing out on the road like that you got to try that you'd never tried before, that while you guys were doing a tour got to eat something to be adventurous?
Ooh, that is a good question, because I feel like the unfortunate side is we're usually not adventurous. So last year we got to tour with Empathy Test, and
awesome. Love Isaac, super awesome.
Yeah, Isaac. We only ate at Chipotle. We traveled together and we ate Chipotle. I'm not kidding. Probably 30 times.
First and foremost, we're big Chipotle guys in general, so we weren't complaining.
It's simple. It makes you feel better than eating a cheeseburger or French fries every day.
But Isaac is vegan, so eating at Chipotle was so easy. We love Chipotle. It's vegan friendly.
Are you both vegan or just you?
Oh, just Isaac was vegan.
Yeah.
Oh, Isaac. Okay, yeah.
But we were big Chipotle guys, so it all worked out.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
I mean, it was the best choice because it just feels healthier than, like, again, and then also he can order rice and beans and stuff.
That's a problem. No, that's a legit problem when you're out on the road and you're like eating fast food for 20 meals in a row, and you have to still play a show and like bring energy and be real every night. Like, if you ate McDonald's 6 meals in a row and then expected to like show up and rock hard until 1 a.m., that's tough.
Yeah, but we actually, I mean, I love that too because it helped us, coordinate times to eat together because we traveled with them. That okay, we're gonna plan to eat at this time, and Chipotle was an easy place to pick, and it worked for everybody. And yeah, it wasn't like the cheeseburger every night, which or pizza. Pizza's very easy to get, and we're foodies too. And I just feel like tour, if anything, it makes it really difficult to get really good food.
Real quick,
outside of like name brands.
Real quick, what's your favorite style of pizza? New York, Detroit, Chicago, like what's your favorite pie?
We have different ones, but I can tell you right now, Detroit is my favorite pizza.
It's the correct answer. I'm a Detroit boy. Detroit pizza, there's something about it, Buddies or whatever the thickness, that grease dripping off the like Wisconsin brick cheese, and the little pepperonis with a little pool of grease in each pepperoni.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. I guess I go more for the New York style pizza, but I do love pizza as well.
Like you're talking about the one where like each slice is the size of a freaking pie, and you have to fold it up to eat it like a burrito. That New York style.
I love that. I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, the Detroit, we have a place, I guess, here locally called Jets. There's a few.
It's a chain.
I don't know.
Yeah, Jets is all over the place, and they are basically like the cover band of Buddies.
Okay,
the real Detroit.
I know this
unique little place called Jets.
No, we actually have the local place, which is where our drummer Phil lives, is called Killa Pies, and I'm still yet to check that. And that's Detroit style pizza right there.
Well, I want you guys to come play Detroit. I'm gonna take you out for both a Lafayette Coney, a real Coney dog, and I'll get you real Buddies, legit Detroit style pizza.
Oh, I'll carve up in Detroit with you.
Oh yeah.
Totally. I would love that.
All right, we're coming up towards the end. So there's two things that I want to hit on real quick. Number one, I always like to ask artists, what is something new and fresh that you're listening to? Maybe each give one of something on your Spotify or Bandcamp that you've been vibing, whether it's like an empathy test, somebody that you've played with, or just something that you found and you enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, empathy test makes it really easy because Isaac is a good friend of ours and the whole band, but
specifically his solo stuff that he's kicking off.
House of Cards, great new single for him.
But Isaac Howlett, House of Cards.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that one 100%. I really like Empathy Test and Isaac. I've had him on the interview before and reviewed a lot of his stuff, and I love the new single and the new sound. And it's great because, I mean, Isaac is somebody who, that's just it, kind of started out with a partner songwriter and is very talented vocally, but always kind of had that as an aspect of what he was writing, that it was with someone he wasn't always on tour with. And to see him branch out and show what he can do as a producer and songwriter on his own is really exciting. So that's a great shout out. Do you guys have one more of somebody that you find really interesting and fascinating in the modern dark scene?
Oh, yes. And I would say this is another easy one. We already mentioned we're going on tour with them, Dead on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. Tell me a little bit about their band and kind of how you came into connection with them.
Well, I guess we came into connection with them, I guess, through TikTok. And he's like, so Ross from Dead on a Sundays is known for taking pop songs and making them more goth, dark wave sounding. Yeah. So one of the ones he does is Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time. And he does a brilliant job at that. But we're actually really big fans of his own original music. Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead is a song. I also like Baila Para Mi. Yeah. But he's just released a new single. Actually, I'm blanking on the name.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I would say Baila Para Mi? Is that it?
Para Mi. Baila Para Mi.
Para Mi.
Yeah, so
I will have to look it up, and we'll make sure to link it here. And also, I'll send you Amaranth, my band. We do a wicked goth cover of Toxic.
Oh, really?
Okay, Toxic is my favorite Britney Spears song.
Britney Queen I'll hear no other arguments about that, so.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's my favorite Britney song. So I would love
I need to check that out now.
Yeah.
What is the style of music? How would you describe your band?
We're a goth band that does songs about ninjas and ass play. We're we're a very silly goth band. But I'll send it over to you to listen. And actually, another thing you should check out is if you like Toxic, it was written by a Scandinavian band called Mike Snow that has quite a few great tracks, in addition to writing a lot of pop songs in the 2000s for artists like Britney Spears.
We're big fans.
But one of our favorite bands of all time that includes those two DJs is called Mike Snow, Miike.
That's
Snow.
right. Well, he
Yeah,
just
he said
Mike.
Oh, yeah, but I'm
yeah.
not sure how to pronounce it. I thought it was Mike because the spelling.
Oh, maybe it is. But that is one of our favorite bands.
Yes.
Nice. I got to see them live once in Grand Rapids, and great show. Very cool band.
Yeah, we got to see them at South by Southwest in Austin.
They just released a new single, so they're coming back.
All right. So finally, to spin out here, I always like to spin out. Oh, and this is Freya.
Say yes, I was laughing at the cat.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we will ask one more quick question then. Do you have any pets or cats that you'd like to tell me about right now?
My cat is at my house. I also have a shepherd big dog. She's like a German shepherd mix of basically, I don't know, or Belgian shepherd proper. But yeah, big cat or big dog and little black cat. That's my dynamic, and he has two.
I have two fluffers. I got a Pomeranian and I have a King Charles Cavalier.
What are their names? Tell me about them.
The Pomeranian, his name is Duke, and the King Charles Cavalier is Dutch.
My shepherd dog, her name is Lydian, which is a musical term, and then I have Cassio as a cat. I named him after a star.
That's awesome. I actually, my sister / my dad's new cat or new dog is a Chevalier. So yeah, I always say that that's my sister to everybody. All right.
Was that an orange?
What's that?
Was that an orange cat that you pulled up?
She is, kind of orange and cream colored. It's Freya, and she has only 3 legs and 21 toes. She has 7 toes on each foot, but she got cancer in one of her legs and had to have it removed. And that was actually part of what started Sounds and Shadows. Was when I was doing these reviews, a bunch of like rock stars came together to offer up a song to save my cat's life. And that's why I will always do this, because I remain forever grateful to this scene for what they did contributing to save Freya.
Well, that's so cool. I love that about Sounds and Shadows. It's a great community. I'm actually happy that we're a part of it. And yeah, it's incredible. I love the conversations. I love that your cat got safe. So
yeah, I'll send you guys that too. Like, so many cool bands did it, and even a lot of like remixes that didn't know each other. Where I was like, "Hey, this goth band, have you ever met this industrial band? Have them remix you." So there's like, for the tribute album, there's original stuff that never would have happened in the wild except for to save my baby.
That is amazing.
She's doing great, by the way.
Nice. Yeah. She looks great.
Yeah.
She does. All right. So the last thing I'm going to ask is, we like to spin out to one of your tracks, so that people that maybe don't know your band as much get an idea of what you sound like. What's the track that you'd like to spin out to? I mean, the new single is a good, easy answer, but I'll spin out to anything that you like.
Well, I guess, did you already spin Price for Heaven?
I mean, I've heard it and I've done it, but I'm going to edit it in at the end of the video to play.
Yes, I on the DM I sent you Price for Heaven. If that's cool with you.
That is perfect. That's a great one. So this has been the Sounds and Shadows interview with NITE. Gentlemen, it has been wonderful speaking to both of you, and we're going to spin out to your track, Price of Heaven.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
For all of you out there in interweb land, keep it dark, yo.
With all the plans we've made, it will amount to nothing.